Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so we'll continue chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna said that this ancient science of the Sambandha Gnana, relationship with Supreme, is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend. So only a devotee can understand the transcendental mystery of the science of Bhagavad Gita. The who is a devotee who is surrendered to Krishna, who's offer service to Krishna, so who's engaged in the activities of Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. So he is a devotee, of course. Then we know there is Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama, etc. But not a Gnani or a yogi. They are not devotees. So unless somebody comes to serving Krishna with love and affection, and of course then initially when we are just serving Krishna, we may be mechanically, still we are a devotee, we are in the initial stages, and Krishna will still give us mercy to understand. And it is only Krishna's mercy based on which we can understand this Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna also sees our surrender, sincerity, etc. So now Arjuna is asking, Sun God Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? So you said you gave this science to Vivaswan, but Vivaswan is pretty elderly to you, senior by birth. How is it that you instructed this science to him? So Prabhupada writes in the purport saying that Arjuna is just talking on behalf of all those people who might just doubt Krishna. So he's asking this for our benefit, saying that how is it that you spoke this science to him? And Krishna answers, many, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer of the enemy. So you're Parantapa, a subduer of the enemy, but still you cannot remember all those births. And then he talks about how he appears, but his birth is not like a material birth. He has a transcendental body, he is unborn, and his transcendental body never deteriorates. But still, by his internal energy, he appears in every millennium. Atma Maya. So the important word here is Atma Maya. Sambhavami, not not like taking Janma. Sambhavami means just appear. I just appear by my Atma Maya, by my internal Krishna, by my internal energy. And why? Whenever and wherever there's decline in dharma and predominant rise of adharma, I descend. And we discussed this saying that dharma means actually following the dharmam to sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Whatever are the rules given by Lord is dharma. At a lower level, it is the dharma concerned with the body, which is varnashrama dharma. And at a higher level, it is bhakti. So when bhakti deteriorates, when people become impious, and bhakti deteriorates, and there is no bhakti, then that is predominant rise of irreligion, and then at that time Lord descends. Now we can just imagine, now itself there's sufficient adharma, but and this is not yet time for Lord to descend. So we can understand how horrible the situation will be towards the end of Kali Yuga when Kalki will appear. So it's better that we become intelligent and decide saying that, okay, I don't want to come back here. It's not worth it. It's not going to be worth it. For all the situation will be pretty bad, right? So, and why do I appear? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. But this is just more like an external reason, right? To deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants is an external reason, because this is just work of Vishnu. But why does Krishna appear? So this verse is about how Krishna appears as Vishnu in every millennium for dharma samsthapanarthaya, which is dharma samsthapana is not the work of Krishna, the work of Vishnu, because he is the one who is maintaining. Now, why does Krishna appear? That is the glory of this Kartik month. That is the glory of these pastimes like Damodar Leela, Govardhan Leela. All these, it is that's the reason why Krishna appears. And why does Krishna appear? I have told this multiple times. So can anybody try to answer? Why does Krishna appear?
For the pleasure of the devotees.
For the pleasure of the devotees, okay. Okay. What else?
I think conditioned souls, to attract the conditioned souls by performing his pastimes.
Okay. Yeah. Prabhu.
Yeah, I think so that we can get attracted to his form and his pastimes, and then become attracted to go to Golok Vrindavan and stay besides him.
Yeah. So actually, Krishna comes to show the love of the Brajavasis. He comes to display, show off in one sense. We can say show off, because he just, Brajavasis are so dear to him, and he wants to show what is this love of the Brajavasis. Which even like Vedas cannot understand, which even Gnani Bhaktas like Uddhava cannot understand. What is this love of Brajavasis, wherein they don't even bother about Krishna's Aishwarya, about his power, position, opulence. They don't care, right? They just bothered about the sweetness in that, relationship with Krishna. So Krishna comes to actually show this. And he says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that, that devotion which is mixed with Aishwarya Mishrita, he says Shitila. Shitila means it dampens. It dampens, like somewhat, doesn't attract me. Krishna is saying that this bhakti which is mixed with this Aishwarya Gnana, it doesn't attract me. So he wants this sweetness. He wants this devotion which is devoid of all Aishwarya Gnana. And it's very difficult for normal devotees to understand how is it that we can worship God without worshipping him as God. How can we worship Krishna as God without worshipping him as God? How can we serve Krishna without thinking of him as God? It's a very difficult proposition. It's very difficult to understand. And hence Krishna appears to show how, see, these Brajavasis love me like that. I mean, this is the topmost platform. So, yeah, it is propaganda. It's propaganda that Krishna is coming to do this. So we should not get confused that Krishna is coming to do Dharma Samsthapanarthaya. But he is forced. This is a very deep science. Janma karma cha me divyam. Krishna is saying here, Janma karma cha me divyam. Evam yobeti tattvataha. It's very difficult to understand this in truth. It's very difficult. Because Krishna is he loves to be, he doesn't want to leave Vrindavan. So he's in Vrindavan. Okay, but then he's forced. He's forced to go to Mathura and Dwaraka. Because of the time for Dharma Samsthapana came along with his time for his appearance. So now he is forced to also take care of his duty. He doesn't have any duty, but he also tells in Bhagavad Gita, I don't have anything to gain or lose, but still I have to do my duty. So Krishna is forced to do his duty, and it puts him in a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. So he is forced to go to Mathura, away from his dear Vrajavasis, whom he loves so dearly, more dear than his life in that sense, right? But he goes because he has to do his duty. He can't come back because he's duty bound. He's duty bound to his parents in Mathura. He's duty bound to other devotees. But his love is for Vrajavasis. His heart is with the Vrajavasis. He can't just leave them. That is the Tattvataha. That Gaudiya Vaishnava. As Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we need to understand this deep truth about Krishna. About how everything about him is just about connected to the Vrajavasis. There is no other truth. Everything else is just a matter of duty or reciprocation. Okay, somebody is worshipping me in Dwaraka. Okay, I have to reciprocate. Okay, it's just like that, but it's not that with Vrajavasis. With Vrajavasis, it is Krishna's love for them, which is beyond any rule, regulation, duty. So he suffers so much when he's in Mathura and Dwarka because he has to be away from Dwarka, from Vrajavasis. Even when he's amongst the Dwarkavasis, his heart is not there because their bhakti is Aishwarya Mishrita. Yeah, so we have to understand that this is the great prerogative of being associated or being part of this Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, that we can actually come to this platform of understanding and the sweetness of Krishna's relationship with his Vrajavasis. And one who can understand that, then Krishna is saying he will come to me. Why he will come to me? Because he wants to be with Krishna. He wants to serve Krishna in that same mood, which is possible only to a limited extent in this miserable material world, even when Krishna appears here, Bhauma Vrindavan. Because of the body that we have, it will be limited. Right? So we have to understand that the only option is to be with Krishna. And then that will be the perfection of our devotion to him, love to him. And of course, then there are devotees who are so much in love with Krishna that even if Krishna wants the devotees to come to this material world, he is happy. They are happy to come for his pleasure. And that is the transcendental nature of Krishna's appearance and activities that we should understand. So this is the secret. While externally we will just say, yes, okay, Krishna is here, Krishna is transcendental, Krishna doesn't have a material body like ours, he doesn't take birth by force of material nature. These are all external explanation of this Tattvataha. But internal explanation is this, love for Vrajavasis. Yeah, and Vita Raga by Krodha, being freed from attachment, fear, anger, being fully absorbed in him and taking refuge in him. Many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of him. And thus they all attained transcendental love. So the whole idea of understanding Krishna and getting knowledge of Krishna is to attain transcendental love. So we have to understand this. And we have to become fully absorbed in Krishna. We have to take refuge in Krishna. And when we are engaged in the process of bhakti, so anyway, we have to become free from this attachment, fear and anger, Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha. Then Manmaya. So once this is gone, this is done. Once we are out of this, which is liberated state, then we can absorb ourselves in Krishna and we can take full shelter in Krishna. And along with that, we hear about Krishna. So by all this, one attains transcendental love. And please understand that this we can think as the central theme of Bhagavad Gita actually, is to attain transcendental love for Krishna. And Krishna is saying, okay, but I also reciprocate with people accordingly. So if somebody can't completely come to the stage or whatever stage they are in, I will reciprocate. I will reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects. And whether they are going to hell, that is also Krishna's path only. Because Krishna has only laid down that path. But not a favorable path. Krishna doesn't like that path where, jivas are going down to hell. But it's still his path. Nobody else can give that path. It's all ordained by Krishna. Everything is under his control. And then he talks about this demigod worship. Men in this world desire success and fruitive activities, therefore they worship the demigods. We discussed all this, right? Yeah. Yeah. Krishna is saying, but there's no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. But one who understands this truth about Krishna having no work that affects him, because he is transcendental, his karma is transcendental, they also become disentangled, or they don't become entangled in karma phala. Yeah, and then we discussed this. So actually, we finished this or no? No, actually, for bare necessities of life, this also we discussed. Yeah, see, till here we are done. The work of a man who is unattached to the modes of material nature and who is fully situated in transcendental knowledge merges entirely into transcendence. So he is unattached to the modes, is fully situated in transcendental knowledge. Such a work of such a man merges entirely into transcendence because it is not on the material platform. It is on the spiritual platform. So here Brahma is on the Brahma platform. Where is that? Maybe the next. Yeah, Brahmarpanam, Brahma Havir. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities. Full contribution to spiritual activities means always engaged in devotional activities in which everything is absolute. Like in comparison with a yagna, whatever is offered, whatever is consumed, etc., etc. So basic thing is anybody who is engaged, fully absorbed. But the important thing here is fully absorbed. Anybody who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, he is sure to attain spiritual kingdom because everything is about him. He is spiritual. He's not doing anything on the material platform. But then there are other paths also. Some yogis perfectly worship demigods by offering different sacrifices. Some other offer sacrifices in the fire of Supreme Brahman, which is Gnanis. So there are yogis, there are Gnanis. Some sacrifice the hearing process in the fire of mental control. Yeah, this is also Gnana. And others sacrifice objects of senses, so karma. So those householders who are engaged in karma, then they sacrifice objects of senses in the fire of the senses. Others who are interested in achieving self-realization through control of mind and senses offer functions of all senses as oblations into the fire of control mind. Yeah, there's also the process of Gnana. So different yogis, Gnanis, karmis, different paths that they all take to come to the transcendental platform. That is what Krishna is saying. But then before that only he said that those who are fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, they attain the spiritual kingdom. Now all others have to eventually come to the stage of Krishna consciousness. Yeah, then brahmacharis take strict vows. Then some sacrifice their possessions, others perform severe austerities, then others perform yoga, others do study of Vedas. Yeah, still others who are inclined to the process of, again, this pranayama. and then some curtail eating process. But all these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reactions. So any path, transcendental path, which is not karmic path, which is not a path of bhoga, is actually, it cleanses the doers from, it cleanses of sinful, it cleanses them from sinful reactions. And then, having tasted the nectar of result of sacrifices, they advance towards the supreme eternal atmosphere. So all of these slowly, gradually advance towards the supreme eternal atmosphere. But the perfection will happen only when there is bhakti. When there is bhakti. So even if there is karma yoga, there has to be bhakti. Somebody is doing jnana yoga, there has to be bhakti. Only then those processes can achieve perfection. Otherwise, they are making advancement, but they can't reach perfection. That's why Krishna says, Bhavanam Janmanam Ante Gnanavan Mam Prapatite Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. They have to come to the platform of accepting Vasudeva as everything, Krishna as everything. And Krishna is saying, without sacrifice, one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then of the next? So everybody has to do sacrifice. And we know that we have to do the Sankirtana Yagna. Yeah, all these different types, there are different paths. All of them have been approved by Vedas. So we can follow that. But they're all slow processes. And Gnana is better than karma, which means that doing sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than mere sacrifice of material possessions. Because eventually from karma one has to come to Gnana. But so there are all these paths, which one to follow? Then this very famous verse, that vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam gnanirastattu darshanam. Try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. There's so many ways, so many paths. Krishna is saying all paths are given by me. What should I follow? Approach a spiritual master. What kind of spiritual master? Depends on our progress in our journey, eternal journey. We will go to that kind of spiritual master. So somebody will be in karma stage, somebody will be gnana stage, dhyana, etc. And some fortunate souls will come to the platform of bhakti. And some souls who are not that fortunate become fortunate by the mercy of devotees, who approach them, give them books, Prabhupada's books, preach to them, bring them to Krishna consciousness, right? And eventually they accept a spiritual master in the path of bhakti. And when we accept, what should we do? We have to inquire. This is so, so if last few days, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj was in Bangalore, and many devotees came to meet him, and very few of them actually inquired. Most of them want to just see. They want to just see him. But we don't associate with the sadhu by seeing. We associate by hearing. So we should ask some question. What is best for me? We can't just come and sit idly in front of Guru, in front of a Vaishnava. Right? So it is important. Some people, then they came, they gave flowers. It's okay, all that is fine, but more important is to inquire. We have to inquire from Vaishnavas. And especially those who are disciples of a particular Guru, we have to inquire and render service. Not just rendering service. Because if we render service without inquiring, then we might just be doing some work. Our mindset might be just of doing some work, but not seva. So we have to inquire. So many things that are there out there we don't know, so we have to inquire submissively. And the self-realized souls can impart knowledge because they've seen the truth. They've seen the truth. They've seen the truth about this miserable material world. And based on what stage the Uttama Adhikaris, then if they've achieved perfection, they would have seen Supreme Lord Krishna as well. But either way, they can impart knowledge because they've seen the truth of this knowledge, meaning they've experienced this knowledge in their life about how this is all a material, miserable world, and birth after birth, we are just suffering here without happiness, and the only happiness is in spiritual activities. They have seen all that, which means they have experienced all that. So they can show us the path. So that is why This is about realization, self-realized. So they are realized that they are the Atma, they are not the body. And so, and they also realize what is the perfect, most perfect process, path to achieve perfection. And so they will give us that knowledge. And having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into illusion. See, please understand this. Devotees remain in illusion because they don't obtain real knowledge. If we obtain real knowledge, then there is no chance of us falling down into illusion. So this, like just namesake surrender to a guru is not going to help. One has to obtain real knowledge. Now, somebody might, we can have an argument saying that, see, Prabhupada is our, original Siksha Guru, right, for everybody. And he continues to remain our Siksha Guru throughout our life. Now, he has given us all the knowledge. Now, what is that knowledge which a guru will give on top of this knowledge? Can somebody answer? So in ISKCON, specifically in ISKCON's setup, right, Srila Prabhupada has given us all the knowledge. Now, what is this knowledge that the guru will give?
How to perform?
How to perform also Prabhupada has given, no?
So basically, the contemporary instruction challenges is what we obtain from Guru. The contemporary challenges are very drastical in nature.
Contemporary challenges means what? Prabhupada has written for contemporary time only. He's not written some 5,000 years back. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, the Guru lives it and shows you. He's a live example of how it should be executed.
Okay, so one thing, one thing is, I just explained that
Sorry.
statement. So one thing like Mataji is saying is that some of what we read in the books remain theoretical till we see somebody actually putting it into action. And that is one thing that Guru does, because his life is, he's living Bhagavata. So through his life and activities, we can learn. Okay, yeah, then?
Prabhuji, we are not so qualified that, just by reading, we can grasp everything. Like to become a doctor and to practice it, and for somebody to show us theoretically is two different things, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, so see, two things. Yeah, one is to see this in practice. But now you see the, irony here. And we see the practice of great souls and we say that is only for them. It's not for us. Yeah, but we are trying to understand here, right? Saying that those great souls don't even have to act on that platform. They're doing that just to show us the path. So when we see great souls doing great activities in Krishna consciousness, we should not discount it saying that no, this is possible only for them, not for us, because we are fallen souls. This is just duplicitous behavior, right? We're just cheating ourselves. So we should understand that the way, they do whatever actions they do, we should understand it is for our guidance, to guide us, to give us instructions. Number one. Number two, like I think Chiranjeevi Prabhu was trying to say this, we have our own challenges, practical problems, which we are not able to apply the knowledge in our lives due to our frailties, our weaknesses, etc., etc. And then we have to approach Guru for to understand what path we have to take, or what we can do, what we should do. That is why inquiry is important. If we don't inquire, then how can we understand what needs to be done? And the third important thing is, for when we are making advancement, each devotee has his own path, his or her own path. And that Krishna says, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. Now, sometimes you might not be able to recognize this path. You might be a bit confused, etc. Then Guru is there to clarify things, saying that, okay, this you do, this you don't do, etc. So we should understand that without actually, without inquiring from Guru, then this whole relationship is meaningless. And see, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra can be chanted by anybody. We already start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra before initiation. So there is no need. It's not a mantra being given by Guru. So if we inquire, if we are not going to inquire, if not going to ask questions submissively and get guidance, then what is the point of this initiation? And some devotees say it's mercy. But we know from Damodar Leela, how does mercy come? What is the prerequisite for mercy? Anybody?
Endeavor.
Yeah, endeavor. So if we are not endeavoring at all, how are we going to get mercy? So mercy is not just going to come just by itself. Mercy requires endeavor. Because that, where is that mercy coming? That mercy is originating from Krishna. Krishna has to release that mercy. And Krishna will release that mercy only when he sees that we are trying to endeavor. So we have to obtain real knowledge from a self-realized soul. Please understand this. We have to inquire. And we should always have this, saying that whenever we are getting an opportunity to come in the presence of a great Vaishnava, have something to ask. It's okay if it is the most stupid question. Because if it is a stupid question and we get chastised, that is mercy. Because we got guidance, we got instructions. It is important to ask. It's important to inquire. It's important to put questions. Because only when we come to that stage will we not fall down into illusion. Otherwise, again, devotees are in illusion. They are attracted by material things, by, all these kind of things. It's just all illusion. Why will we not fall into illusion? Because by this knowledge that we get from Guru, we will see that all living beings are part of the Supreme, or in other words, they are Krishnas. Which means we don't come down to the material platform. That is what this means, saying that we don't fall into illusion means we don't come down to the material platform. We remain on the transcendental platform. For which we have to hear. And Prabhupada used to keep repeating this: you're not body, you're spirit soul, you're not body, you're spirit soul. Why? Because otherwise we'll fall down, we'll come down into illusion. And so powerful this knowledge is, that if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, still if you have this transcendental knowledge, you will cross over samsara. So this transcendental knowledge is important. Those who unfortunately can't read and write still have to hear. They have to get knowledge, transcendental knowledge. Only when we are very advanced will Krishna reveal from within. But otherwise we have to hear. And those who can read and write should read, do their own study, and make their own internalizations, their realizations. We should not be lazy in reading Shastra. Actually, there's a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It says that, if you're not interested in, if you're lazy about gaining transcendental knowledge, that's not good. That's not going to help us make progress. So this fire of knowledge will burn to ashes all reactions to material activities. Because we understand that I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul, I'm part and parcel of Krishna. So I'll surrender to Krishna, and as soon as I do that, all my reactions are burnt. So in this world, there's nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism, meaning whatever the path of transcendental path that you take, finally you have to come to this knowledge of Krishna. And one who has become accomplished in practice of devotion, he will enjoy his knowledge within himself. This is that Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. Krishna reveals that knowledge from within.
Guruji, is it that Siddhanta Baliya Chitta Nakara Alasa?
Yeah. A faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge. So there are two things here. So use dedicated to transcendental knowledge, which means that we are trying to get knowledge, and at the same time we are trying to follow regulative principles. Such a person is eligible. So here there is eligibility to achieve such knowledge, and having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. That means that we are in the process of attaining gnana. At the same time, we are also practicing regulative principles. Then we become eligible to achieve that knowledge. And once we achieve that knowledge, we come to the transcendental platform. So we can't just leave our senses free to act. But then, because then the transcendental, that knowledge will become useless. So we get the knowledge, I am not the body, I am spirit, soul. But then I act on the platform of body and just engage my senses in sense gratification. Then what is the use of that knowledge? No use. And then yes, so those people who doubt revealed scriptures, they do not obtain God consciousness. They fall down. And somebody who doubts this scriptures, there's no happiness in this world or in the next. So one who acts in devotional service, renouncing fruits of actions, doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge, he is situated factually in the self. So see, it doesn't say that one who acts in devotional service is situated in the self. His doubt should have been destroyed, meaning no doubt about his position. Then he is situated in the self. For one who is situated in the self, there is no reactions of work. Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga, stand and fight. So this yoga means what? When we get the knowledge in connection with the Supreme Lord, that is yoga, Sambandha Gnana. Then we'll stand up and fight, which means we will do our duty. And so this whole thing is about the importance of knowledge. For us, this knowledge is in conjunction with devotional service, because Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayodhita Janeti Ashu Vairagnam Gnanam. So that knowledge will come. But for that, we have to practice devotional service. We have to give up the fruits of our action. And then we should subdue our senses and follow the principles. Then that knowledge will come automatically. We become situated in the self. Basically, by the process of devotional service, we come to the stage of Brahma Bhuta, which is the transcendental platform. And to come to that stage, there are two requirements or two things that happen. One is the practice of devotional service, and parallelly, knowledge develops either through hearing or through reading. Knowledge has to develop. So we have to get transcendental knowledge, and to get transcendental knowledge, we have to go to Guru. This is the whole story here. So why Krishna is talking so much about the glories of transcendental knowledge? Because the transcendental knowledge can be acquired only from a guru. So he first says that, saying that Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshanti Te Gnanam. So once we get that real knowledge, then we don't fall into illusion, and whole process of getting the importance of real knowledge, he then is explaining. Only by knowledge we can come to this stage of self-realization. So we should not ignore knowledge. Just because we are engaged in bhakti, we should not ignore knowledge. Okay, any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, somebody who has not yet chosen his Diksha Guru, so should he get instructions from his Diksha Guru till that time? Like,
okay, so we have to understand this whole business. I've explained this before. See, there's no question of a Shiksha Guru before a Diksha Guru. See, our first Shiksha Guru is Srila Prabhupada. And as soon as we become fixed in this knowledge, in reading Srila Prabhupada's books, we have to get on to the path of identifying or finding our Diksha Guru. And that path of finding the Diksha Guru is also Shiksha. So that is why it is said that we should not wait for too long for Diksha. So we are hearing from Prabhupada, then immediately we should start hearing from other great souls from who possibly can accept us as their disciples. So they will become our next Shiksha Guru. Now, after that, then after Diksha, then by their permission or by their instructions, we can accept another Shiksha Guru who ideally is a disciple of that Diksha Guru. This is the normal process recommended. Shivram Maharaj has written a book called Shiksha Guru. So everybody should read that. So it's not that we just, nowadays what has happened is whoever brings us into devotion, we think is our Shiksha Guru. And that's not true. That's not correct. Because whoever has brought us into Krishna consciousness can be taken as Pada Pradarshaka Guru. They have shown us the path. Because there are so many considerations for accepting somebody as a Shiksha Guru. Ideally, we should not do that. But of course, see, again, just like how this Kali Yuga is topsy-turvy, so practice of devotion is also a little bit topsy-turvy in many devotees' lives. In that case, we can seek guidance, but don't treat somebody. See, please understand, there is no difference between a Shiksha Guru and a Diksha Guru. Okay. We have to Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra. We have to treat them as good as Hari, equal to Hari. If you have accepted somebody like that, a person who is a devotee, who is not initiating, you accepted him as your Shiksha Guru, him or her, then ideally you should also accept everything that they are saying. If you come to that stage, then yeah, maybe you can, and possibly by their guidance you can accept a Diksha Guru. But unfortunately, I mean, it's very difficult that to follow this process, because ideally those whom we consider a Shiksha Guru shouldn't be biased about our spiritual life, meaning they shouldn't be biased saying that you have to take initiation from this Guru only, or that Guru only, or you have to do this only or that only. So they have to be very matured. Somebody whom you can treat as Shiksha Guru should be very, very matured in devotion. And they should be our real well-wishers, guiding us on the proper path, showing us the, path to even select a Diksha Guru, for example. So if you find somebody has matured, it may be okay, but again, then it will result in conflict, because sometimes what happens, if suppose say you have a Shiksha Guru, and then eventually you end up, because of your connection or because of the Shravanam, you are inspired to take initiation from a Guru who is not the Diksha Guru of your Shiksha Guru. Then there might be conflicts. Maybe the Diksha Guru is expecting you to do certain things, Shiksha Guru might expect you to do certain other things, and then you are stuck. So better not accept anybody as Shiksha Guru till you find your Diksha Guru. And then after that, by his instructions or his permission, you can accept a Shiksha Guru. Otherwise, till then you can approach all devotees with respect, as devotees who are giving you guidance. Don't go to the extent of calling them Shiksha Guru, or don't treat them as Shiksha Guru, because it's not the right way. And we have to understand. We can't say that today I chose somebody as Shiksha Guru, tomorrow I dropped. We can't do that. It's a very, very serious decision. Is that okay?
Yes, okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, anything else? Anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhu, one more thing with respect to Guru, what you are right. So, is also we get an opportunity for Vapu Seva.
Yeah, it's okay. Vapu Seva is not, whenever there's an opportunity for Vapu Seva, we should take that. But most of the time it should be Vani Seva, because we don't get Vapu Seva so easily or so frequently.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat.
Yeah, Pranama.
Prabhu, we don't realize how fortunate we are to be in this movement, because nowhere else, Prabhu, you get such an opportunity to clear doubts, to talk, to to meet your Guru. Like in many other this thing, the guru comes, delivers a lecture, and he just gives darshan and he's on. Or sometimes you have these pseudo gurus, showpiece gurus, where you can really sit on and say, Guru Maharaj, aaj mere ko ghar mein mera bacha bimar hai, please come home, and they come running. I mean, I have Marwadi gharon mein, literally gurus are like this. So we are very, very fortunate that we have this concept of hearing, serving, and to understand how a guru should be and how you should choose a guru also.
Yeah.
And one realization, Prabhu, this time when I went to see Guru Maharaj, there's a question and answer. So Guru Maharaj was saying, like, you should preach whatever level you are. And somebody asked him, what is the qualification? He says, who's qualified? He says, I'm not also qualified. I mean, Guru Maharaj is saying that. He says, we should, whatever level we are, we should preach. And one more statement, which was really, he says, I did not sin. Like and I was 19 when I joined the movement. I have not sinned. He says, I'm suffering because my disciples are committing sins.
Yeah.
So when we take up something, you wouldn't like something to happen to your children and to your parents, like in the body material concept of life. We don't want to hurt anybody near and dear to us. So why do we hurt our guru? Why do we not?
Absolutely.
I don't we follow what he says. Otherwise, don't come to the movement. No, just chant and be happy at home. Do what you want to.
Yeah,
Don't accept a guru if you don't want to.
Yeah, don't accept a guru. And I mean, this was such a thing that I keep telling devotees. I see this, every time devotees go to Dham, especially, they take this liberty of just eating anything and everything because they just think that they got this freedom. They are in the city and they are tied up because they can't eat everywhere and anywhere. And now I'm in the Dham, I can just go and eat anywhere and anything. But that's not correct. Right? And then when we eat something which we are not supposed to eat, whom does it go to? Directly goes to the guru. So we have to, this is the whole problem, right? Because we are not so serious about this relationship with the guru. We just make it official. And it's very, very unfortunate, when I see such devotees. This time I told some devotees once this amount of seriousness. They didn't hear. They again the next day did the same thing. And I was actually contemplating saying that how can we be so light-hearted about our relationship with Guru, and that forget about being light-hearted. One is to ignore his instructions, which is one. But to actually give him pain because of our actions. We should be demons actually to do that in the garb of devotees, right? If we want to just break rules for our own sense gratification, okay, let us do things which will bring suffering to us, right? Why do we do things which is going to bring suffering to Guru? It's just like I just couldn't understand. It's like one day I was just thinking about this, saying that why do people do this? It's very, very difficult. It's so, which is why, like Mataji said, better not accept a guru. Just don't trouble others. Don't just trouble great Vaishnava by nonsense that we do. Better we just don't accept a guru. It's fine. Better we become qualified. Anyway, it's a painful topic. Okay, so we'll stop here. 4th chapter is over, then we'll continue our discussion. Anything else? Anybody wants to say anything? Otherwise, we can end. Okay, we'll close here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo ananta koti vaishnavanta ki jai samveta gaura bhaktivinoda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.